I think we're live.
We definitely are.
I think we are. It's the Brown South Girls.
Yes, and we are here.
All right. It is Sunday. It's Sunday.
It is.
But
it's not the last one.
then why are we here?
Why not?
I tell you what, guys. Welcome to the Brown South Girls podcast. It's me. I'm Miss Tanya. I am the mother of this duo here.
And it's me, your girl KJ, the daughter of this duo.
All right. I know what you guys are thinking.
What are y'all doing here? It's not the last Sunday.
It's the first Sunday. But we had to fall back. You set those clocks back. All right. And so we fell back and we said, you know what? We're going to fall back and we're going to bring y'all a little bit of that conversation of what happens in the fall season. Homecoming season happens in the fall season.
It sure does.
And I think we need to talk about it.
We do. We really do.
We do. We absolutely do. Why do you feel like we need to talk about this?
Well, for one, on the last Sunday, I was coming back from a homecoming. And I mean, just all of the homecomings that I went to this homecoming season, just all the joy and the love that I felt. I feel like we need to talk about that. We need to share what that means to us in our community. Like it's homecoming, you know?
Yeah. You guys got to let us know. And in fact, this weekend was G-Ho. That's right. The greatest homecoming on earth. Aggies. North Carolina A&T had homecoming this weekend. I think it was also, it was
North Carolina Central.
North Carolina
their homecoming was this. So I'm so sorry.
North Carolina Central had their homecoming this weekend. Big rivals with A&T, but it's all love still. Kinda. And somebody else had South Carolina State.
Oh, yes.
They had homecoming this weekend. It was a lot. And then last weekend, you were in
good old Tally, Florida A&M University. FAMU had their homecoming last weekend. It was a time to be alive. I think I'm still recovering. I haven't got up on all my sleep yet, but it was so great and so much fun.
Yeah. And in fact, we celebrated our high school homecomings a few weeks ago. Just the whole homecoming season. And I think we should be talking about what homecoming season, what that really means and what that's like.
Yeah, for sure. And, we actually started off homecoming season with our high school homecoming.
We did.
So that was a great kickoff for the season.
It really was. Wilson High School out of Florence, South Carolina. We are, it's a historically Black high school, 1866. And I know that there's not a lot of institutions, including college institutions, who can shout out that 1866 at you, So when it comes for us celebrating this, it's a really big deal.
It is. I mean, I can remember going to Wilson homecomings before I even got to Wilson. And I was like, I'm going to Wilson, which I mean, did I really have a choice? No, but I just knew in my mind, no matter what, I had to go to this high school, continue the legacy, because it's just so great. And it's such a good feeling and it's such a fun experience.
Right. Absolutely. I see we got Tori in the house.
Hey, Tori.
What Tori talking about in here?
Tori said, hey, y'all, wait a minute. I didn't know about this. Listen, Tori, sometimes we just pop up on y'all, keep everybody on their toes.
We had to do it. Well, we wanted to do this because actually we're testing out a few different things. We're testing up new setups. We're testing out new cameras. And we kind of wanted to talk about homecoming a little bit.
Yeah, we did.
And you know it, Tori and I, I do a podcast during the week, and I do Talk It Out Tuesdays with Tori, Keep the Faith with Tori. And I tell you what, we had a blast my high school homecoming week.
Oh, yeah.
And throughout our hometown, actually, all of the high schools now have kind of taken to celebrating their high schools, which we absolutely love that.
Right. It's really great. It's good to see all the school spirit.
So I was invited to South Florence homecoming where, I was a judge at their homecoming, judging the tents and the t-shirt contest and just out there fellowshipping with them. That was a great thing. But the thing that I want to talk about as it relates to our homecomings, and when I say our homecomings, I'm talking about Black people. I'm talking about brown and Black people. Like, our homecomings have a special thing
They really do.
It's different from other schools. It's not that other schools don't celebrate homecoming, and it's important, but we celebrate different.
We do. We do.
We absolutely do. We celebrate different. It's not just, it's like coming back to, it's like a big, huge family reunion, to be honest.
It is.
That's the best way to describe it. So you've got alumni, you've got former students and teachers and family members, because typically, and especially for Wilson High School, you have generations of family members who went to this high school. And quite obviously, that's going to happen.
Right.
What did I tell you guys? If we want to take a little pop quiz. 1866. So your grandma, your grandma, your great uncle, your great aunt, your cousins, your sister, your kids, your brothers,
your mama,
your neighbors.
Right.
You know, and even some of the kids who go to the other high schools, they have parents and they have family members who went to this high school because it was the only school for Black people during that time. So that's the history. Now, let's talk about this a little bit, and it's not so much to concentrate on, but there's a thing called rivals. You have high school rivals.
You do.
But when it comes to homecoming, I don't think there is a thing about, I don't think anyone can rival with that necessarily.
Oh, absolutely not. I don't think so. And no.
Go ahead.
I feel like really it's because our homecoming has so much history behind it, you know, and we're talking about HBCUs as well. I think it kind of is like, you know, an HBCU homecoming and the PWI homecomings. Like there's just so much rich history with our homecoming. We have so much pride in our high school. And like you said, it's generations of people coming back, family, friends, neighbors. So there's so much more for us to celebrate than just saying, okay, we're going to have a football game and we're going to celebrate that. Like we welcome everybody home. We welcome everybody. You know, you can come to our events. You're going to have a good time. You're going to eat good. We're going to fellowship. You can wear your high school colors. Wilson Tigers still going to love you anyway and make sure you have a good time. So I really feel like there's not much rivaling with that because it's just a lot of love and a lot of pride.
Absolutely. I see we got Tori in here. She says, Tigers is my family. And we are, and everyone is. Absolutely. I see we got Miss Bequilla. She has a comment. What is she saying in here?
Yeah, she said it's like a reunion. Old friends, memories, great fellowship with all the high schools in the PD region. Like literally people from all these different high schools will come and celebrate with us. And it's kind of like you said, you know, a lot of the times we have family members that went to Wilson, but you know, the students may have gone to different high schools. So they're coming back because their family went to Wilson. So they've been going to the homecomings this whole time. So it's good to see and it's good to be a part of.
Absolutely. It's about us. It really is about us. It's about us. It's about knowing your history. It's about just things that, if you really go back to the history part of it, when they were celebrating Wilson School, and going to homecoming back in those days of actual, you guys got to know this, real segregation. That was like the biggest thing for them to do.
Right. It was.
Keep in mind, we were not invited other places. We were not welcome other places. We were not welcome over the tracks. So now that we are in a time where people are going to different schools and you have that opportunity to do that, school is integrated, at least it is for now.
Right.
I don't know.
But that's another conversation.
That's a whole nother conversation. It is. But, you know, and I often wonder, like, if some of these students from the other schools, particularly in our area, do you even know your school history? Like, what year was your school founded? And I don't necessarily think that you have to know that, but I guarantee you it's not many Wilson Tigers that you will find who don't know that. We know that because how many of you know your alma mater?
That's what I was about to say, because when I tell you that alma mater is ingrained into your brain, the day you step foot on Wilson High School property your freshman year of high school, I know it. We're not going to talk about when I was a freshman in high school, but I still know that alma mater word for word and don't need to see not one lyric.
I often wonder that because, you know, you will often hear like, well, you know, Wilson think they're just the best. They just think they're all that. And it isn't that.
No.
We never said that.
Right.
We are historical. We have a pride for our education. We have a pride for our school. And like you said, it was ingrained in us. It was instilled in us.
Right.
You know, I don't know that you guys know your history. I don't know how important it is for you to know your alma mater. I don't know that you know who even was the first integrated or first Black student in your school. So don't take that thing off track. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about who can have the most parties, if you can party all week.
Or who's going to win the football game.
We want the kids. Who doesn't want their team to win?
Right.
And we want the kids to, but it's about more than that.
Exactly.
It's that fellowship for us. As I see Miss Braquilla here, she says, folks buy season tickets. But if you take a poll, it is the halftime that keeps them standing, and especially the drumline.
Let me tell you, it is something about a good band and a good drumline. Most of the time, because I'm not really a football person, like I'll watch the sport and I kind of understand it. But if I'm going to a game, if I'm going to a Wilson game, or if I'm going to an HBCU game, 9 times out of 10, it's for the band. Oh, a good marching band will do it every time. Every single time. Every time.
I can't argue. Everybody knows, like, and a lot of our HBCUs, you know, it's like the band that does it for you. Like, some of the schools that have really, South Carolina State has a great band.
They do.
Talk really about the homecoming you went to last weekend.
Y'all, I love the Marching 100. The Marching 100 has a special place in my heart because when I tell you those kids play those instruments, they are so good. They sound good. They look good. They're on one accord. It's amazing. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Who's the Marching 100?
So the Marching 100 is the marching band for FAMU, Florida A&M University. They also actually played for the Paris Fashion Show 2 years ago. So they have been doing some really big things. And they're such a great band.
It is. That's just our thing. In my shirt here, you see HBCU proud, North Carolina A&T. We are Black history. That is what I want people to kind of understand. That is why Black people celebrate homecoming very different. Yes, every school celebrates their homecoming. We just celebrate it different. So when you're thinking that, they think they're all this. Yes, we do.
We do.
We do. But we can back it up with history.
Right.
If you got a school, if your school goes back further than ours, holla at us.
Right. And you know what? Because I didn't attend HBCUs, but I did work at some. And it was funny because I was at FAMU's homecoming the weekend of, I think both of my schools were having homecoming that same weekend. And again, I love the institutions I went to. I do. And y'all got a lot of my money. But it was just something about being at the HBCU homecoming, and everybody there makes you feel like family. They know I didn't go there and graduate with them, but it didn't matter.
It doesn't.
It was just so much camaraderie. We laughing together, we partying together, we having a good time, we hanging out, we eating together. I got food from so many different tailgate tents just because. It's like, please have something. And I'm like, okay, you don't have to tell me twice.
Exactly.
It's just such a good feeling, and it's so welcoming. And like we're saying, it really does feel like home.
Right.
It really does.
We just celebrate it different. So we just want to put all of that aside, all of the people who are in our, and that's college that we're talking about. But and there aren't many historically Black high schools.
No.
Put that thing in Google and look it up. You're going to find 2.
And Wilson going to be one of them. Holla at us.
And that's all we got to say about that. We ain't arguing with y'all.
Not at all.
We ain't arguing with y'all.
No Wilson slander in the comments.
You can have as many parties as you want to. We're not talking about parties.
Right.
Do you know how many legends we have from Wilson High School?
So many.
Lots of them. Harry Carson. Jolette Law.
Talk about it.
I mean, Pearl Moore.
Talk about it.
I'm just saying, we got a whole lot of people. And it's not even to say like, I want to brag about who's from there, who's from
the Brown South girls.
Oh, Lord. But it's true. It's true. We just celebrate different. Celebrate and be proud of your school. We will never tell you not to be.
Exactly.
You should be. You should be. Now, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know when your school integrated and when y'all started going there. I don't know.
That's none of my business.
Holla. All right, y'all. Let me see what Miss Kathleen She's in. He said, what now?
So we have to think about how far we as a people have come in education and learning. I support a school who focuses on the future of our children. Honestly, let's talk about it. Wilson said, okay, we're going to educate us. We're going to do this. And we still doing it.
All these 150 odd years later.
Still going strong.
You look good, Wilson.
You do.
And happy homecoming to everybody who celebrated homecoming. I love it all. I had fun at South Florence. Everybody who, I didn't go to too many more, but I certainly supported everybody. I'm going to support education. I support that. So I like what you said, cuz absolutely. We are talking about that pride for education. And under that is definitely that pride for education.
Right. It is.
I see your battery getting low on your phone over there.
But it'll be fine.
Okay. If anybody else got anything else to say, you can go ahead and say it to us.
Go ahead. We here. We talking.
We here. We want to hear it.
Right.
What year you say your school? What year?
Crickets. Chirp, 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 chirp. Wait, that was a bird. Y'all know what crickets sound like.
Are we still waiting? Are we waiting in the comments for that, or we gonna move on?
Because I don't see any comments rolling in. So.
I don't. The comments stopped rolling.
They did. They not rolling on the river.
Let's talk about something else.
Well, what else? What else? It was something else we was gonna tell the people.
We were gonna tell them.
Oh, speaking of homecoming and just, good celebrations and having a good time, we also went to the Pecan Festival this weekend.
Oh,
we did. We did go to the Pecan Festival. If you never had a good Pecan Festival experience, I don't know what to tell you.
In fact, we got some really nice, beautiful bean pecan footage.
We do.
But it's in the camera that we're actually filming with at the moment. I just thought, I forgot to take the memory card out.
So y'all can see that another time. We'll just share it.
What we'll do is we'll share some shorts. We'll do that.
So make sure y'all go watch those. We'll share those.
Right. Ms. Buquilla said it is important that we support public education. And she brings that up, and it is. And, she says that, and there's a lot going on in education right now. If you think about what is happening with certain curriculums being changed, certain books being banned, there's just a whole lot. So I ask you and I urge you all to pay attention to who's on your school board. Pay attention when it's time to vote and put those particular people in positions. That is so very important. Do not take that for granted. Politics does not just stop at voting for a president.
Exactly.
You have to be involved in your local community. You need to know who is on your school board. You need to know who your council people are, your councilmen, your councilwomen, your mayor. It's very, very important. We're going into a political season, and I feel like you guys need to pay attention to a lot of those things.
Yeah, and especially young people too. Don't think that just because you're young and you might not be in a space where you're in school right now, so I don't need to worry about who's on my school board. But you do, because there are still other children coming up through here. You might have younger siblings. You might have children in the future, but you still need to know all of these things, and you still need to make sure you are making informed decisions when you're voting and know who's in these places, because it's still going to affect you at some point in life. So young people, get informed. It can be overwhelming. Take your time to learn what you need to learn, but just get informed.
I agree with you, because a lot of the times, and I'm glad you said that. Hearing that come from a young person, that means a lot. And I'm glad you brought that up, because my generation, for the most part, I'm middle-aged. We understand the significance and importance of voting, and a lot of us are voting, but there's so many young people out here. Right. And if you guys understood the power that you have,
because we have a lot.
You do. And there's so many of you, you all could determine this presidency, and particularly young Black people.
Right.
Don't let anyone tell you that your vote doesn't count.
It counts and it matters.
You got this. I see we got Wanda here. She says, I saw you guys.
Yes, it was so good. It was so good.
Yeah, saw you at the Pecan Festival. Had a whole lot of fun. Like I said, unfortunately, the footage that I thought we were going to share is right in that camera right there. Right on a itty bitty tiny micro SD card that I was going to put in a computer, with this technology, and I was going to go through and just show a few little clips. Can't do it now.
No, but it's okay. We had a good time.
We did. We had fun. Did you eat some pecans?
I didn't, but I have braces right now, and as much as I love pecans, I cannot afford to mess up this investment. So by the next Pecan Festival, I'm gonna be chomping down on pecans. Don't worry about it. Pecan Festival 2024. I'm getting some pecans.
Right. I see we got Ms. Baquilla here.
Yeah, she says we have organizations that are going to school board meetings and taking over the meetings. Listen, people are getting in these places and making their voices heard. We got to do the same thing, people. Buquilla says also, your vote is your voice.
Absolutely.
Couldn't have said it better. And we have Kathleen Phillips saying, please vote. You're right, family. Our vote does count. It does. It counts and it matters.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I also see that Wanda Thompson, she says, yes, we have to know how important education is.
Yes.
Real talk. But we also have to start at the home.
Mm-hmm.
Start at that home front and talk to our kids about voting and book knowledge. She says, I'm just saying. And she's absolutely right.
I'm just agreeing.
Absolutely right, because education does start at home.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there is a podcast that is done here on the last Thursday of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Our Life Homeschool with Senator Maggie Glover. And that is the focus of what that podcast is about. Speaking about the fact that education starts at home.
Right.
Like, when did we start depending on and counting on just the school to educate our kids? No, we're sending them there with a basic knowledge and some education already. Mm-hmm. And when they get there, they're going to build upon that.
Right.
There's certain things that the school is definitely not teaching. The school, if you take, for instance, they took in cursive writing out of school.
Right. It amazes me how many students I come across that don't know how to sign their names because they didn't learn how to write in cursive.
Didn't learn how to write in cursive at school.
Because I feel like I knew how to write in cursive from home.
Of course. If you sat right here beside me right now and tell me that you learned to write in cursive at school, I'd be like, I homeschool, right at home. And does the school have to teach in cursive writing for you to make sure that your kid knows how to sign their name?
Right. It doesn't. Because I feel like, are all the letters of the alphabet necessary to write in cursive? No, because I can't tell you the last time I wrote a Z in cursive. Mm-hmm. But at least I know how to sign my name.
I think that is the very least that you should be able to do.
Yeah.
You should be able to sign your name. Mm-hmm. Like, we learned that because, like, when I was growing up, I know the times have changed. I know people aren't out here writing checks. I know we're living in a digital currency society. Like, a lot of people, you hitting that swipe.
Right.
I get it.
We tapping now.
Well, right. You're not even swiping anymore. You're right.
Now we just boop,
tap it.
Tap it.
But in my day, you had to learn to write a check. Mm-hmm. And you had to write it. And you had to sign your name. And even though we're not within that system still, I want to know how to sign my name. You've got contracts that you've got to sign.
Exactly.
Paperwork that you have to sign. What kind of business are you doing if you're not able to sign your name? Mm-hmm. Like, I can't take you seriously if you're coming up here and you have to print your name.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you're living in an adult world.
No, because I mean, even getting jobs, like, you have to sign your contract. Mm-hmm. And I mean, yeah, like you said, we're digital, but even sometimes there are digital signatures, which I did realize, like, depending on how you're sent something, like, I've been sent documents through DocuSign, and it will put your name in a cursive font for you, so you don't even have to physically write it. I'm like, no, because that's not my signature.
Right. That's not
that's
my
fraud.
Right.
So I'm gonna draw it out for you. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I feel like it's important to know.
Education starts at home.
Yeah, it does.
It does. I don't think I need to wait till my kid turns 4 or 5 years old and go to school and start learning some basic things like colors or letters or knowing how to read. You're
Right.
trying to tell me you're running around this house, you're playing, you're doing all of these things, you're walking outside, you look up and you don't know that the sky is blue. Like
Right.
I have to depend on school for you to know that.
Right. And especially because, it's one teacher and there are usually a lot of kids in the class.
Mhm.
So you can't even expect a teacher to be able to spend so much time with one student individually to make sure they have everything, because they're literally trying to teach 20 plus kids at the same time. So I feel like that also puts a lot of pressure and just some unrealistic expectations on teachers, because it's like, oh, well, my child should learn this in school. But if you just start it at home, the teacher can enhance their knowledge versus expecting a teacher to give 20 kids everything from start to finish,
Absolutely. I agree with you. I see we got the comments rolling in. Let's see what's going on with the people here in the chat.
Yes, one that says, good point, Tanya. And just last week, one of our teachers incorporated that in her lesson plans and also prepares them for job interviews with resumes in hand and such. Gotta do it. Can we just speak on the resumes for a second?
Well, let's speak on it.
Whew. Because, I feel like after you get to a certain point, you end up on hiring committees. So I've been on quite a few. And just some of the resumes that I've seen for people who have been in the workforce just as long as me, longer than I've been alive, it's just like we're not really helping people and preparing people to move on to their next step in their careers. Like a lot of the resumes, if I just had to look at them, which some of them I look at and I'm like, there's no way I would hire this person. But being a part of committee, I'm just going to put in my 2 cents. But I feel like that should start at home. And then, you can get that enhancement in school and even on a job. Like if I had someone that I was supervising, I don't expect you to work for me for the rest of your life. So while you're working with me, I also want you to be prepared. I want you to be updating your resume. I want to make sure that you're marketing your skills so that when it is time for you to move up and move on, you can do that and somebody won't either disregard your resume altogether or they don't look at it and say, wow, well, who is this and why would I hire them? Like people should be able to look at your resume and be flabbergasted in a good way, not in a bad way.
Absolutely. You're right. I think that's something that starts at home. I also think having those discussions as your young people are growing up, like, how you should dress.
Yes.
You need to be in business attire when you go on an interview. I don't think that people should not know this, but obviously people do need to be told this. You need to iron. You should not show up wrinkled.
That is true. Y'all should make sure y'all iron.
Yes. Do you have a shirt that has buttons and a collar?
Right. Because I will say, in my experience, club attire is not interview attire. Just because it's a dress does not mean you can wear it to a job interview.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Because I've seen some things.
You just said club attire is not interview attire.
It's not. Just because it may fall under the dressy category, if it also falls under nightlife, let's not wear that to the interview.
Please do not. And see, and these are conversations that we can have at home.
Right.
If it's not directly your mother, your father, someone in your family,
sister, cousin, brother, uncle, aunt. Ask somebody, hey, I have an interview. What do you think about this outfit?
Right.
Or, hey, I have an interview. What should I wear?
Right.
And they can say, okay, well, do you have a button-down shirt? Do you have a blazer? You got some black pants? Like just simple staples. A nice black pant, a blazer, a button-down shirt. Easy.
A nice shoe.
I just got me some nice shoes today. So y'all make sure y'all get y'all some nice shoes.
Out here in these streets plundering.
We were just plundering. And I needed to update my business wardrobe. And I was like, you know what? I need a better. And y'all, I'm getting at the age where I need comfort. So I needed a comfortable work shoe instead of just a cute work shoe. So had to go plundering and looking for some, but I found some. They're good. They're comfortable and they're cute.
They are. They are. Those are things, like I said, education does start at home and it doesn't stop.
It doesn't.
You continue to have conversations. All of those are things you should know. How to talk to people, how to make eye contact. Because quite honestly, everybody has a bit of nerves, like you might have a bit of nervousness, but if you have those key things, if you know, okay, well, look at the person that you're talking to, Answer the questions. Try not to use too many times.
Yes.
It's easy to do.
It is.
It is, but you just have to practice those things. And someone has to tell you that.
Right.
And I think those are things that you're going to have to learn at home because they're not teaching you that at school.
No, not at all. I think I've learned a lot, of course, at home and then through experience as well. Like one thing with interviews is to be okay with an awkward pause. Like it may seem awkward, but if you need to pause to get your thoughts together, take a pause, get your thoughts together. And also, as nervous as I get talking to people as well, I find that when I make eye contact with the person I'm talking to, it kind of eases my nerves because now I'm like, okay, this is a person and we're just having a conversation versus when I'm not doing that. It helps me.
Right. I agree with you. I agree with you 1,000%. There's nothing wrong with that. And to be honest, the person who is sitting across from you, who is interviewing you, at some point in their life, they were on the other side of that desk. So they know that.
Yeah.
You know, they know a little bit that it can be a little bit intimidating when you are, you know, in the interview situation. So just, you know, just like you said, take a celebrated pause, but always make sure that you maintain that eye contact.
Right. I got another tip. It's also okay to ask someone to repeat the question or to like break it down. If you don't understand what you're being asked, don't try to fumble over an answer and tell people what you want them to hear. Say, can you repeat that again? Or could you give me an example just so that you understand the question that you're asking? And then too, as someone who's on, you know, has been on the interview or has been the person interviewing because words, you know, the people who are at that table technically are on a committee. We've already looked at all the resumes. We've looked at all the applications. So there's something that they see in you already if you're sitting in front of these people. So it's okay. Somebody at that table is probably rooting for you. That doesn't mean you're always going to get the job, but at least you know that there's something that these people see in you enough to meet you in person to see if you are the right fit. So go in there with some confidence. Know what you want to talk about. Know what else you want to present. And, you know, don't allow the nerves to build up. Don't think that you're not good enough if you've already made it to the in-person interview. Because most of the people in that room see something in you already.
Right.
So you got something.
Or they read enough and they felt that you were qualified enough in terms of your education and in terms of your experience. So you've got a foot in the door already.
Right.
Bring that thing on home. Yeah. I see that we've got Kathleen in here who has a great comment.
Okay, she says, always look your interviewer in the eye when speaking and give a stern handshake. I hate a limp noodle handshake. I wish you could say it. I wish you could say it again.
Well, I will say it. Because I hate a limp handshake, a noodle handshake. Have some confidence in yourself.
Right. If you got to give yourself a pep talk in the mirror before you go, do what you got to do. But you go in there with your confidence and you say, you know what, I made it here. I'm going to do what it takes to make it out of here with an offer letter.
Exactly. I see we got Wanda also in here.
Attire is important. Eye contact is important. And remember to ask questions about the familiarity of the job you're applying for. Yes, I feel like my first interview for like a real job, I had asked a lot of questions about the institution I was going to work at. And one of the interviewers was like, oh, you did your research. And I was like, well, yes, there were just some things that I noticed that I wanted to understand, you know, to see how my skills aligned with what I would be doing if I got the role. It shows that you're interested in what you're going to be doing and you're not just applying for a job.
And that you actually have interest in the company.
The company, right.
You know, so do your homework. Always be willing to do your homework.
Yes. And even if you think, you know, if I was applying for a job at Nike, I might think I know everything. I'm going to find something about this company that I need clarification on. And even if I don't need 100% clarification, I'm going to ask the question because I want to hear the answer from people who work there. Right. I want to hear it. So do your homework, ask questions. Even if you think you know the answer, ask it.
I agree. And you can learn these things at home. That's how we got here. We talked about what you can learn at home.
Yes.
That's very, very important.
It really is.
Homecoming, we talked about it.
We did.
Learning at home,
we did.
We talked about it.
Mhm.
What else y'all need? What we need to talk about?
Y'all be plundering? I'm just curious.
Plundering.
Because we did a lot of plundering this weekend. And at first I wasn't sure if plundering was just a real word or like a Southern word or a word that my family made up, because we got a couple of those. But we drove past a billboard today that said more places to plunder. So do y'all plunder? I'm just curious.
Do y'all know what plundering?
Do y'all know what plundering is?
Do you know what plundering is? Right. Let us know who plunders.
Who plunders? And where do y'all plunder?
Where? We need to know.
We need to know, because we might need to plunder some more.
We do. We was out here in these streets plundering.
And young people, I know plundering sounds like it's for, the older demographic. But listen, the same way we go to Target and we say Target tells us what we need, that's plundering. We plundering. We're just plundering at Target.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So y'all had to say when you're talking about Target tells you what you need.
Yeah, whenever you say, I'm going to Target, what do you need from Target? Target's going to tell me what I need when I get there. You don't go to Target with a plan. You go to Target and Target tells you what you need when you get in there.
Well, okay. If that's the case, that really is a lot like plundering.
It
so
is.
You're going out shopping and it's not for a specific thing.
It's not.
not something specific. And you tend to end up with things that
Right.
you probably don't need.
But it was on sale. It was
Right.
buy one, get one free. It was something you've thought about wanting, and it again on sale. You can get it in bulk. There are so many reasons why you would buy it in that moment.
Right. Maybe you didn't need that big thing of time, but hey, you was out plundering and that's what you ended up bringing home.
Exactly. You didn't need a 35 pack of toilet tissue, but you're on your last roll and you was out plundering. It was on sale. You might as well get it.
Well, you must have been plundering at Sam's.
Sure was. Got me some nice fleece sweatpants too. I can't wait to put those on.
Wait a minute. You went to Sam's and you got sweatpants?
Y'all, first of all, yes. But also, young people, get you a Sam's card.
Oh, Lord.
Because, yes, when we think about Sam's, we think about buying things in bulk. Me, I think about free samples. One. There are also a lot of things in Sam's other than just food. They have the sweatpants I got. I'm putting them on because they feel great. They have electronics, jewelry, all kind of stuff. You never know what you might need from Sam's. Get you a Sam's card and catch them when they're on sale. That's my spiel on Sam's.
Oh my goodness. But what I want to know is, why would you go to Sam's and how do you end up walking in a grocery store and walking out with sweatpants?
Well, see, they had them on display. And had we not been walking through the groceries, we wouldn't have walked past the sweatpants. And I wouldn't have saw them and I would have never got them.
That's too much plundering. That's too much. And you go out plundering and you end up coming home with like nightgowns with gingerbread men and candy canes on them. Who does that?
Me. I think we just need to do a tips for the young, old tips for the young people episode, because I got plenty of tips that y'all might think sounds like it's not for my generation, but the older generations know what they're doing, guys. They have this life thing. They got it figured out.
Exactly.
And we're just here thinking, oh, I'm too young for that. No, there's a reason.
I see Kathleen. She said, hey, plundering is a gift.
It is.
And you know what? This time of year, plundering, you can get a lot of your holiday gifts.
Exactly. You can go plunder for your holiday gifts.
Do some shopping, some early shopping. You really can. You can.
But I feel like it works better when it's plundering, because when you're shopping, I feel like you're on a mission to find something specific. And then you kind of get discouraged when you don't find it. But plundering, you're not looking for nothing. So when you find those gems, it's exciting. You're like, okay, swipe the card.
I see somebody else know what plundering is.
Yeah, Wanda said, I most certainly do, hunty. Store to store. My top places are estate sales and vintage spots. Ooh, a good vintage plunder.
Oh, yeah, I do. I like vintage. I like thrift shops.
Yes.
And I also like little cheapy stores like Roses.
Yeah. You can plunder in Roses.
Yeah, I like
You
places
can
like
plunder.
Roses. You end up getting you some $5.99 t-shirts and nightgowns and stuff like that.
Exactly.
That's a good place. Roses is a good place to plunder.
And like the little bargain stores that be having stuff
Yeah,
half price and on sale.
I love a good bargain. I love
a
it.
good bargain.
We not the only one who like Roses. Come on, Phoebe.
Yes, I love Roses. Roses. Sleep on Roses if you want to.
Listen, if you don't know about Roses, you don't know.
I don't know what to tell you. See, Kathleen already know what it is. People be sleeping on Roses. They really do.
Don't be sleeping on Roses.
If you live somewhere and you haven't found you a Roses, are you really living there?
Is that someplace you want to live?
Right. Because I don't know.
I don't want to live anywhere that doesn't have a good, cheap, thrifty store, bargain store.
I need something.
No. You can get your little soaps from there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Things for around the house, cleaning stuff.
They also have some really nice art. If you go through the back end, like if you really plunder through the back, they have some nice art, some nice home decor.
You gotta have the strength. Now, some places you gotta look. I was about to say you gotta have the strength to look.
Yeah.
But some places, like Ollie's.
I can't plunder in Ollie's.
Now I can, but I have to have like before I go to Ollie's, I got to have my life together, and I gotta, be in that spirit of being in all that stuff.
I was about to say, being in Ollie's sometimes make me feel like I'm trapped in my own head when I got too much going on, and it's just like, you know what, I can't do this. There are too many tabs open. There's too much stuff everywhere.
Oh my goodness.
Does Ollie's have a website?
Listen, but I have brought some really good things from. You never know. You got to go and you got to just be brave.
Yeah, you do. I'm not always brave enough, but I've been a few times.
You got to be brave. You got to really be in that real plunder spirit.
You do. You really do.
I'm just saying.
Ollie's is a time.
Uh-oh. Let me know.
Ooh, Wednesday's a senior citizens discounts. Oh, we got another. I was about to read another comment that wasn't on the screen yet. Ollie's and Hamrick's, you need the courage and time.
You do.
Oh, Hamrick's. We didn't go to Hamrick's because they got some of the stuff we've been looking for.
Hamrick's be having that stuff that you see
as seen on TV.
I
love the as seen. Now Hamrick's is a time, but I love the as seen on TV Island Hamrick's.
Yeah, because listen,
because it's like
all the stuff you never knew you didn't need.
Right, and they do have some like if you like a good firm pillow, Hamrick's is the place to go. They have some really good firm pillows. It's good sleep,
right?
And a really great weapon if somebody breaking your house. You hit them with one of those whiplash. So it's a 2-for-1.
True. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, Hamrick's does take some time to.
We going through these comments. I'm going through these comments, and I see a lot of people here in the comments. I want to go ahead and ask you guys to hit the like button. I want to ask you to subscribe. Check us out on YouTube. That's very important for us. Like, they have changed so much in the algorithms here. So you got to let people know that you enjoy the conversation, that you like talking with us. You like what we bring to the table. There's a whole lot that we want to bring. Typically our season has really ended by now. We usually end our season in September, but here we are.
We decided to keep it rolling.
And usually we're the last Sunday of the month, but we just did a pop-up.
Yeah, because if we're being honest, the last Sunday of last month, I literally got off the road from homecoming and was like, are we doing the show?
Yeah.
Eyes half closed, and it was like, you know what, we can pop up next month.
Yeah. I was like, you know what, let's not go through that. I don't want, you just got off the road, relax yourself. We'll get back to the people because the people gonna be here. And look,
y'all here.
Here you are.
And I love it. Thank y'all for being here with us. Totally appreciate it.
I sure do. All right.
I'm glad we got some plundering folks in here, though.
We do.
That's good to hear.
I feel like if you're going to be Southern and you're going to really enjoy your country.
Right.
Because everybody country ain't as country as what I know to be country.
It's not. And I'm being biased, but I feel like South Carolina country, like our country,
Mhm.
we're really top tier country. Like, also, we're borderline bougie.
Well, speak for us.
We borderline bougie. Now, there are some things that might be a little too far, but like our country is just so, I love it. Our country food, our accent is top tier, even though I feel like mine's a little more neutralized, or I try to sometimes, but it can get there.
It can get there, but I think what happens too with the accent also depends on exposure, like the places that you've been and lived, and where you probably went to school. So that kind of gets into it as well.
Yeah, because I've had a few accents in my lifetime.
Oh yeah, you've had a few, from Caribbean to Northern, all the way here
to whatever this is.
To whatever this is, and worse than this.
Oh, very much so.
We had to switch that around. She was just a little bit too country.
I was talking like this. But I mean, that's what I grew up around, so I didn't know what else to do.
I said, girl, why are you singing?
Well, I was with my grandma and my great grandma, and that's how they talk.
We're not going to do that.
So I just had to realize, like, okay, we're not going to do this.
Nip
it. Let me, something else that started at home. Because let me tell you something, if I don't remember a lot of things from my childhood, is when I did talk like this to my wonderful mother, she would make me repeat it, not Southern. And I would have, like, you're not going to get a response until you say it better.
We're not.
So I would have to reel in my accent. And then it's like, okay, yeah, now we get to
reel that all the way back.
So now I really know how to go in and out of it. Now it's a talent.
Exactly. I see I got my classmate in here, Elijah Hawkless. How you doing, man? 1987. Also,
my
Wilson graduate.
Class.
Well, 1987 got to be your favorite class.
My favorite class. I'm not telling you my secrets.
Well,
go
you
ahead
know,
and say what you was gonna
1987. You know how 1987 be on that grill.
See, I wasn't gonna tell everybody my secrets.
Well, it's true.
It is.
But what I was gonna say with Elijah, you know, he's also an author. You guys make sure that you go and follow him. Go ahead and hit that and follow my guy and see what he's got going on. He's got a new book out. I can't remember the title right now. Forgive me for that, brother, but go ahead and follow him.
Yes.
And then find out for yourself. Some things you need to do for yourself. I told you need to do your homework.
Exactly.
You do. Okay. And I see we got Kathleen here. She says, what?
The Southern accent is unique. It is.
It is.
It is.
But how about when Southern people just make words up?
Now that.
Like yonder.
Right. Over yonder.
That's one. If y'all can think of some of those Southern words that people, like, nobody else says that.
Right.
Like, why you got to call everybody Bo?
Hey, Bo.
What's up, Bo?
Or the fact that a lot of Southern people will take a word that's already made and change it. And that's going to be the word that they say every time.
Yes, that's what they're going to do.
Yep, because Jalapeno.
What you won't do is talk about my grandma on this podcast. That's what you won't do.
I mean, if there was ever a brown South girl to grace this planet, it was her.
And thank God for her.
But when I tell you, because
when she said jalapeno, we knew what it was.
We knew she was talking about jalapenos.
Jalapenos.
Well, I didn't at first, but I put two and two together eventually, and I let her say jalapeno because that's your word.
But what we fixed to,
Newson. Because that's just not something I'm nuising to.
I'm not nuising to that.
I'm not nuising to it. I don't even know how to spell nuisance.
I don't know how to spell it.
I
don't. I guess we could phonetically spell it, but you would have to know phonics.
Right. And well, that's another story for another day too.
For a whole nother day. Things you need to learn at home. You do.
Well, do you need to learn phonics at home? Or is there... Because I feel like you
can make it in this world without learning, but you can't make it. You can make it without.
You can make it.
Yeah,
it might be a little difficult, but you can.
It'll be challenging. You won't be a good speller.
Right. That's why I don't know how to spell. And you know what's the crazy thing is there are there are long words that I can spell perfectly, and then there are shorter words because they don't look like what I expect it to be. I can't spell them to save my life. I got 2 degrees in sports, and it took me a good 20 plus years to spell athlete. and athletic, because it just didn't look like it sounded.
Right.
And I would always mix the letters up. And I'm like, nah, I use this word so much.
Right. That is the American English language for you. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Behind you.
Behind you.
Behind you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Got some good. Aren't those technically colloquialisms?
Well, yeah.
Southern words.
Southern things Southern people say.
Southern people say.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all.
Good times.
Real good times. I think it's time for us to get off this podcast. We was really just checking some things out. Really, what I want to let the people know is there's some new cameras that are coming out. The holidays are coming up. And a lot of times content creators are asking me like what I think they should use, what's best. And I always tell you to use what you have. If you've got an iPhone that is as late as iPhone 12, 13, use your phone. Get you some good light. Use your phone. Make sure you've got some good audio. Do that. If you got a camera already, well, use that. Make sure your lighting situation is good. Make sure that you're sounding good. That's what I want to tell you. But there are some new cameras that are out here that I promise you, if you don't have anything, you don't have the iPhone, should I tell them?
You should tell them. Because this camera is amazing.
The camera is amazing. And it's a little camera. I want you guys to do your own homework. I'm going to show you some footage from it throughout the week. I'm going to start showing you some footage from it. We're using one of them right now. I'm not even going to tell you which one it is. But it's called the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Oops, didn't mean to hit the mic. The Pocket 3. Look that up. If you are a content creator, look that up. There's so much that you can do with it. We're also using it as a webcam. We're testing it out, which is really the main reason why we kind of wanted to come in here. We always love talking to you guys, but I wanted to see how it performed as a webcam. Yesterday, we took it out to the Pecan Festival. I used it a bit, easy breezy, small. And by it being a pocket camera, it really is that small. I promise you. It is small enough to fit in a pocket, something that's lightweight. And I'm the type of person who I like, I love technology. I love gadgets. But if I've got something that is going to give me good quality and it's lightweight, I don't have to lug around a whole lot of equipment. Well, that's what I want to use. Also, I'm using a little, the Insta360 webcam. People use a lot of expensive things out here, and this isn't necessarily the cheapest web camera. I'm not at all saying that. But if you have an intelligent way that you want to use this, it's just like easy breezy. I don't have to have a capture card. All I have to do is just plug this thing into my computer, and it's on a little gimbal. It's really nice. I'll show you guys some behind the scenes at some point. But then again, I might not. I'm just being honest. I might not. And you know why I say I might not? Because I'm not a tech reviewer. And there's so many people out here who show you these technical things. And if you want to know, just look that up, because that's what I did.
Right. Yeah, because we were watching some videos about the camera too. So.
Right. I do my own homework. And that's with anything that I want, whether it's a camera, a microphone, anything that I want. I'm going to look at the reviews. I'm going to look at how people use it. I want to see, because oftentimes if you see these content creators out here and they're giving it all these rave reviews, I don't necessarily trust them all the time, because I know that they might be using some of their professionalism within it and they're getting the very best out of it. I want to see what that average person, how they use it, how it looks right out of the box without doing anything particularly special. I want to know that. I want to know all of the things that people don't like about it. So when I do my homework, I'm not just looking to be impressed. I want to hear those bad things too.
Yeah.
And because some of the things that one person might not like, well, that might not be a big deal to me.
Yeah.
It may not be a deal breaker. So everybody has different things that they want. Everybody has different uses. But I will tell you, and I've been doing this for a very long time, I will tell you, if you know someone and you love someone who say they want to start a YouTube channel, they say that they're want to start vlogging. If you don't get this Pocket 3, I don't know what else to tell you.
Me either.
Because this AI technology, where they've taken things, this AI technology has just made things. I thought cameras were smaller now. Like all of that technology that they put in our camera phones and stuff, they're finally putting them in cameras for real.
Right.
And they're making them.
It's working.
Yeah, they're making them smaller, lighter, smarter. And if you're smart, you learn how to use them.
Yeah.
In fact, after we get off this broadcast, KJ, use my phone here and take a picture of this setup right here so that they can see what we're looking at, so that they can see how this looks. Because I don't think they're going to believe the small little cameras.
You can't even see how small the camera is really in the picture. Like you have to know what you're looking at.
Listen, don't even try to show it to them. See, you zoomed in on it. Come out.
Oh, no, I took one without it.
I know. Take it without a zoom. The reason why I say that is because let them zoom in on it and see it. Let them do some work. Sometimes you've got to do your own work. I'm gonna post that picture for you guys after we get off the broadcast, because there's stuff out here that you can use.
Yeah.
If you got your phone, use your phone. Okay, use your phone. You don't always have to get the latest and the newest. You don't.
You really don't.
Make sure you have a good light source. All right. Make sure that you've got that light source. Let them know, KJ.
Yeah. Because one thing about it, good light is going to make your camera look so much better. As long as you know how to light yourself. Because a lot of the times when we're on the podcast and we're not together, I'm actually using myself. Get in front of the camera, play around with it, look at yourself, see if you're too dark or if it's too bright or if you need to add warmer light or brighter light, but play around with it. And also when you're doing your research and watching these videos, I would also look up people who look like you so that you know what they're using to make their quality look good. So just make sure that you're doing those things and that okay, I have an iPhone. Do I need to invest in a new camera? Or I don't have an iPhone, or I don't have a phone whose camera quality I'm like 100% excited about. This Osmo 3 looks like something that'll be really great for me to start vlogging with, and it looks like it's something that I can learn.
Right. There's a good learning curve. I think you said everything. I don't think there's anything else for me to add. Do your homework. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money. I personally feel like the creator package for this, I can't talk about what someone's budget is, but to me personally, I think it should be more.
Yeah, because you did get a lot with that.
You get a lot with it. If you get the creator package, it comes with the camera. It comes with an extra battery. It comes with a little magnetic wide lens that you can put on there. It comes with a wireless mic. Yeah. Comes with the mic. You can't beat it.
You really can't. And it did come with a little tripod too.
Come with a little tripod, a little carrying case.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. That's it. We get ready to get out of here. We got some more things to do. Matter of fact, we ate dinner really early.
We had brunch.
And I'm feeling a little
hungry. Me too.
Feeling a little hungry-ish. And I do want to eat a little something before it get dark. I don't like eating too much after it get dark.
Yeah. I don't really eat super late either. All my meals be done before the sun go down.
Right. Unless I'm out. Unless you see me out at these bars or something like that.
And I'm sit down on some wings.
Yeah, little wings and a little margarita. We can go downtown.
But we could.
Y'all might see us.
If you do.
If you out in these streets, we won't be plundering though.
No. We on a mission this time.
We will be. All right, y'all. Had so much fun. Thank you for joining us. Make sure that you make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you tell a friend, tell your mama, tell your cousin, tell somebody. Them brown South girls be talking. Today we was just talking.
Right. We was just talking. We missed y'all. So we had to come out and say a little something to the people.
All right. And you did say something. You told me that we needed to make sure that we played our
I did.
That we played our opening when we started the show, and we didn't.
We didn't.
So the way I feel about it. Tell the people bye.
All right, y'all. It's been great. We'll see y'all